Let's talk today about the top 10 best practices of online stationery stores. Now, anytime I go into any new industry, I always like to see what competitors are doing and not only what they're doing well, but what they excel at and what customers really like, what they respond to, and also what the norm is for that industry. So I have a ton of ideas. And when I say ton, I don't mean like I follow 10 or 20 stores. I've been following probably like 200 different online stationery stores. And yes, there are that many. And I was able to boil down a list to the top 10 that I think you should know about to either give you some ideas or maybe something you can emulate or incorporate into your own online store. But I didn't have enough room for everything. I actually have 20 examples that I think were really great. But you know how I talk, this video would go on forever. So I put that all together for you in a handy dandy sheet so you can see all 20 best practices. So make sure to download today's stationery store best practices. I will leave a link for that below. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do unboxings on Saturday. Now, don't forget to download today's 10 best practices. We'll go over the first 10 in order, and then there are another 10 bonus best practices for you in today's download. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to flip the screen so you can see exactly what I'm looking at, and I will point out a little bit of history for each one, as well as what I think they are doing excellent at, and maybe how you could leverage that into your own shop. Number one on the list is Studio Sarah. Now, Studio Sarah has done an excellent job of sticking to one color concept throughout all of her different products. No matter where you go in her shop, she just sticks with this nice mauve, a pink, a white, this gold, a little bit of a mint color, but for the most part, it's all kind of a light pastel, very calming, very pleasing, and everything that you purchase from her will obviously match the rest of the stuff that you purchase because everything is in that same sort of color tone. So that's number one. The second example I have for you is Smithston of Bond Street. Now, right away when you land here, you know for sure that this is a high-end stationery shop because it says enjoy complimentary delivery on orders over $400. So usually we're used to $40, maybe a $50 price point, but this is $400. So you know right away this is either the place you've been looking for and waiting for, or this is definitely not the place for you. Now, the other thing, this is also number 3, is they have a section here for women, and it's a pretty involved and extensive collection of things, as well as a section for men. So right away when you come here, depending on who you are, you know exactly where you want to be. And also just going back to number 2, if you've never heard of Bond Street, this is in London. First of all, they have obviously differentiated themselves by saying they've been around since 1887. But more importantly, Bond Street in London is the high-end area. It's kind of like Newbury Street in Boston, or I was going to say the Magnificent Mile in Chicago, but it's probably more like Oak Street in Chicago, which is just high-end, you know, $1,000 for a single piece of anything retailer. So that's something really nice that they've done for branding. Now, number 4 is Sugar Paper. And as you can see, the domestic shipping is free at $75, which is a much different price point than Smithston. And more importantly, what they've done that's really great is they've mimicked another very popular brand, which is Kate Spade, but at a much lower price point. So their planners, I think, are going to be around $19.60, but they still look beautiful and they still have that very stylish Kate Spade look to them. The next one is CW Pencils. So this is number 5 on our list, and that's because they've done an amazing job of niching down. Like, they've totally committed to just doing pencils. They're not trying to also offer you pens or markers or anything else. And not only that, this brings us to number 6, which is they've also curated a lot of high-end pencil brands, which, first of all, I didn't even realize that there were this many pencil brands, but clearly there are. So this tells you right away that this is the place you want to be if you want a pencil. The next one is number 7, and that is the Journal Shop. Now, the site does not look very impressive just on its own. However, the Journal Shop has everything. Like, anytime I'm trying to look for a specialty notebook or a planner or anything that I saw somewhere else and I can't find it anywhere, I can pretty much find it at the journal shop, or I've written to them and they have been able to track it down for me. Now, they do offer a flat rate for worldwide delivery, so that's why journal shop is really popular no matter where you live, even if you're not in the UK. Now, number 8 is Mount Street Printers. Now, what they do that's really amazing, as you can see right here, they do a great job of showing a behind the scenes look of what's going on, what their shop looks like, and the fact that they are hand printing, hand making everything that they do. No matter where you go on here, you're going to see a behind the scenes look of what's going on, kind of like just walking into their garage or their shop, and you're going to see Heidelberg presses and a lot of impressive printing machinery and equipment. Now, number 9 is the Rifle Paper Company, and what they do that's really amazing is their story. So right here, when you land on their page, you can look at all their products, and this actually, whether or not this is your style doesn't matter. The whole point is that Rifle Paper is a fascinating story which has turned into more of a lifestyle brand. So this is a married couple out of Florida with 3 children, happily married, see how blissfully wonderful every day is for them. And so they've curated now a lot of things for home goods and home decor. And then that makes people think, wow, I would love to be super happily married with 3 children and a wonderful house where every day I come home and it's just a magical fantasy life where everybody's happy. So that's really what they're selling. The next one is Paquetto, which is over here, and that is this 10% pop-up. So this is really a standard anytime you do e-commerce, is you should always have a pop-up that automatically gives people a discount for first-time purchases. Now, yeah, they could sign up again with a different email, but quite honestly, who cares? They're still buying from you, and they're still going to be a customer, and you're still going to get that sale. So these are my list of my top 10. So let's just recap that really quickly. So the first one was Studio Sarah, and that's because she does an amazing job with sticking to a single color palette. So no matter what you order or what you add to your collection, you know it's going to match everything else in the collection. Number 2 and 3 is Smithston, because right away they've differentiated themselves as high end with the $400 delivery and the fact that they're on Bond Street in London, and they have a great section curated for men and for women, so you don't have to waste time looking at things that aren't a good fit for you. Sugar Paper has done a great job of mimicking the very popular brand Kate Spade, but at a much lower price point. Number 5 is CW Pencils. Amazing job of sticking to a niche and also showcasing all the different brands that they have. So it's not really that they're making their own pencils. They're doing an excellent job of curating in a very specific niche. Number 6 also is for CW Pencils, is the brands that they've curated. And number 7 is the Journal Shop. And in here, you can find everything and anything that you could ever possibly want. Plus, they also do, like I said, a flat shipping for worldwide, so it doesn't even matter where you live. And Mount Street does an amazing job with behind the scenes of everything that they're doing and all the impressive equipment that they have. And number 9 is Rifle Paper, selling the loving, wonderful lifestyle of a happy husband and wife running a business together with 3 adorable children. And number 10 is Paquetto, which has the percentage 10% off your first purchase pop-up before you even start shopping. You have to close that down before you can even get to the site, which brings us to a bonus tip that I wanted to give to you. Is I think you'll notice a lot of these were from the UK. Well, that's London, as soon as I said that. And so if you can have a stationery store based in the US, you're going to be that much further up for any US-based customers. Plus, shipping is going to be much less expensive than some of those other brands. And more importantly, if you look at Moglia, they have a tagline, crafted with joy in the USA. So a lot of people are looking to buy what they call local, buy American, and I think that's a very popular sort of marketing slant that you could give to your company, and something to think about when you're going through all of your branding. All right. And if you're not in the US, you could also say crafted with joy in Australia or down under or in Argentina or wherever you happen to be, because people want stationery everywhere in the world. So what did you think? That list is pretty awesome, right? Like some of those companies I'm hoping maybe you haven't heard of, and I was able to point you in the right direction of some other areas that you can do some research on when looking at online stationery stores. Anyways, I hope everyone is having a fabulous day. Don't forget to download today's cheat sheet. Is it a cheat sheet? It's a list of the 20 best practices of other online stationery stores. So you get 10 extra bonus ones that we didn't even cover today. All right, I will talk to you guys on Thursday. Bye.